Attention, Mr. and Mrs. America, and all the ships at sea. A hard time even understanding the depth of it. President Donald Trump's home was raided yesterday in Mar-a-Lago, Florida. This is not just an attempt to uh, to stop Donald Trump from running for office. This is an attack. This is an attack, a direct attack on a republic by an out of control FBI that is being run by the Democratic Socialist Communist Party of the United States. The Democrats have now become a socialist party, and they're trying to take away our Constitution, our liberties. It's all under assault right now. We need for people to understand the depth of this. This is a former president of the United States, raided by the FBI, an out of control arm of the federal government that is run by the Democratic Party. This is what Donald Trump was referring to as the deep state. This is very, very serious. Our republic is so close to being gone. It's unbelievable. They just passed a bill, and in that bill was the hiring. I think it was 87,000 more IRS agents, heavily armed. By the way, they bought up tons and tons of ammunition. Why does the IRS need all that ammunition? Are they at war with somebody that we don't know about? What's it all about? So the total of the new IRS employees, I think, is going to be like somewhere around 168,000. I could be wrong about that number. Employees. Who are they going to be auditing? All of us. Every time you open your mouth, including what I'm doing right now, you're in danger that the IRS is going to come knocking on your door or going into your bank account and seizing your bank account because they don't like what you're saying. Our freedom of speech is almost completely gone. The Democrat Party, which I don't even understand, these Democrat Congress people that are passing these bills and allowing the president and his nut job bunch of cabinet members to run away with the country. These are people that grew up in our communities. These Congress people grew up in the America that we grew up in. How could they not know that it's all slipping away? How could they not know that the future children and grandchildren of theirs are going to have to play in the ashes of the burned down country that they helped create? These Democrat Congress people and senators, they need to say no to a president that's out of control and a vice president that's out of control. And we got John Kirby for the Secretary of Defense creating all kinds of problems out there. You got Mark Milley, who's I believe he's the Defense Department Joint Chief of Staff or something like that. He's a horrible individual. He actually told China that he would let them know if Donald Trump was going to do an attack on them. That's treason. That's treason. But put all of that aside for now. This assault on the former president of the United States, where they were able to, FBI agents without any real clearance, was able to leave his home with documents that could have been highly classified documents. We don't even know what they were. What was it? Who signed off on this? Was it Christopher Wray? Was it Joe Biden? Who signed off on a warrant? And what was the pretext of the warrant? Warrants are very specific. When you go into somebody's home on a warrant, you're very specific on what you're looking for. A very specific allegation of some kind of wrongdoing. What was the allegations? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. So my question to you, Mr. and Mrs. America, is how far are we going to let this go? How far before we finally get out there in the streets and back up our former president with peaceful protests before anybody tries to shut me down and say I'm trying to incite violence? I'm not advocating for violence, but I am advocating for peaceful protests in the United States. Hundreds of thousands of people should be out in the streets right now protesting what has happened yesterday at Donald Trump's home. We have a constitution that says what you can do and what you can't do. They're not even paying attention to that anymore. They don't care about the Constitution. The Department of Education, completely out of control, another wing of the Democrat Party, federally run government organization that is indoctrinating children as young as second grade that they can choose what gender they are. They're pushing all this racial nonsense in there, which we know does not exist on the street level. And they're indoctrinating our children in the schools that it's okay to do this, it's okay to do that. Letting the children grow up with their own minds, or let the parents control what their children hear and what they're educated on. The Department of Education should be teaching math, English, social studies, and stuff like that. Not all this indoctrination that they're doing of the children right now. Folks, the country's in a lot of trouble. You know, the borders are overrun by people that are carrying in all this fentanyl. You know, fentanyl, they say the chemicals in fentanyl comes from China, goes into Mexico, where they're creating all these pills and stuff like that, and then bringing the fentanyl into the United States. Hundreds of thousands of people have already died from overdoses because of this. But they want to talk about COVID. Oh, COVID's a national disaster. We need to wear masks. We need to put masks on our children. We need to keep people inside. We need to people not having family gatherings. But it's okay that these people are coming into the country with these drugs, killing hundreds of thousands of young Americans. The inner cities, Chicago, Baltimore, Los Angeles, all these inner cities have this underground economy where they first of all, they destroyed the jobs in these communities. It allowed people to go through there rioting, burning down the cities, and all this other stuff. And then they say, well, we want to defund the police. So they defunded and demoralized the police so they can't do their job. So now you have these people running through the streets, doing whatever the hell they want because they have cashless bail reform in let's say New York City. That somebody creates a crime, and then they get arrested, and then they automatically release with no bail. Who's this affecting the most? It's affecting the African American youth in this country. So I'm going to speak directly to the African American people. You better get out there and understand that the Democrat Party you have been supporting all these years is not the Democrat Party that it was before. It's not. They destroyed your cities. They ruined the economy. Now they have an underground economy where your kids are out in the street beating people for no reason, shooting people. A 9-year-old kid goes out for a quart of milk and doesn't come home because he was shot in the head. Every weekend, hundreds of people shot in Chicago, in Baltimore. Every single weekend. Nobody in the Democrat Party is talking about that. They want to talk about COVID. Wear the mask. Oh, yeah, let's talk about that. They want to talk about white supremacy. White supremacy. The people in these communities, are African Americans, are killing each other. How is that white supremacy? It's happening because they losing sight of the fact that for them, because of the Democrat Party destroying the cities, it no longer exists. Folks, we need to get a handle on this. Everybody, first of all, needs to write to their congressmen and write to their senators and let them know. And in November, everybody better be out there in force. Because you know what? If you vote all these people out of office, all these Democrats out of office in the House and the Senate, and take back the White House, that is a revolution. That's the way it was intended by the framers. When the government is no longer working for the people or being run by the people, it has an obligation for the people to overthrow the government, not violently. I'm not talking about a violent a revolution. I'm talking about a peaceful revolution at the voting box, at the ballot box. If you change everybody, that in fact changes the government, and that is a revolution without firing a shot. That's what the genius of these framers enacted way back then. Folks, please do something. I'm 66 years old. Most of the stuff is not going to affect me. I'll be worm food by the time this stuff really gets bad. But you people, especially you young people, better get out there and organize. Organize, 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 and it's going to be very difficult because now they have squashed our free speech. People like that son of a bitch Zuckerberg, you put a post on there, they take it down, or they put you in Facebook jail, or Twitter suspend your account and who knows what YouTube's going to do about this video? They may take this video down because it violates community guidelines. They won't tell me what the community guidelines violation was, though, but they may take it down. Folks, get this stuff out there. If you like this video, get out there and share it. Make sure as many people see it as possible so people can organize and get out there and peacefully demonstrate to take our country back and get to the polls in November. Organize, organize, organize. Folks, like I said, I'm 66 years old. This pretty soon I won't have a dog in this fight. I'll be gone. But your kids will not be able to know the America that you grew up in. We got to get this right, folks, and we got to do this. That November is extremely important. God bless America. God bless Donald John Trump.